Dave Matthews. That's who I hate. Fuck him.
Start this thing.
Yes.
I'm so nervous.
Hi, Lanie.
Hi, Aileen.
We all know the company of Hialeah, obviously, and if you don't, then try.
You better find out.
Yeah. Exactly. What do you guys make over there? Like, what do you make at Hialeah?
Hialeah started out as just like chains, but whenever I explain it to somebody who's not necessarily in like the piercing industry, has never heard of, you know, like charms and stuff like that, I always say it's like accessories to your body piercings. I don't, you know what I mean? But just like high-end accessories to the piercings that you have existing. So it would be like chains, charms, tassels, anything that dangles and wiggles and sparkles and just like
Movement.
yeah, just like the meat or maybe the sauce. I don't know. It's probably, I think it's like the sauce.
It's the sauce with the meat.
Yeah, and we try and keep we try and keep in a range of like 14 to 18 karat gold with most of our pieces, and we work with some titanium and starting to mess around with the niobium and yeah, and we try and genuine gemstones, and I hate really working with much else, but yeah.
Do you have a current favorite piece or a favorite style?
I really love charms, like big bulky charms. It's kind of like I'm trying to find like a charm for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like the person that's like a minimalist to a person who's a maximalist, someone who's like ultra feminine to like masculine to like, and just having that array and kind of playing with all of it. Charms have been so much fun for me. Chains are cool. They're hard, you know, sometimes to like measure and get right and have it hang a certain way. And I mean, like charms are just so easy.
Yeah.
And so charms I've been really having a good time with.
But who are you? Who is Lanie?
Well, I'm just a girl from Florida. I'm 35. I am a mom and a wife and a piercer and now a jeweler somehow.
How long have you been in the industry now?
I took an apprenticeship when I was 18, and so that's like 2007. Is when I officially started in the industry. Been going strong ever since. I stopped piercing to do Hialeah, but I pierced consecutively, I would say, for about 13 years.
Do you know the year that Hialeah came into existence?
Yeah, so in 2018 actually is when me and my husband made it like an official business. Before that, I was kind of putting pieces of jewelry together for the one studio that I was working in. But I didn't have like a business, you know, like name for it. I was just like selling stuff I was making. But yeah, in 2018 is when Hialeah became Hialeah.
And the name means what?
Hialeah is an amazing city in Florida, South Florida. It's actually the town that my husband was born and raised in before he moved to Fort Lauderdale. But yeah, he grew up in Hialeah, and all of his family, well, most of his family still lives in Hialeah. I wanted like a Florida-esque name, but I also wanted something that was like pretty and sort of unknown, and like, you know, if you're from Hialeah, you'll understand this, but my husband was like, why not name it Hialeah? And like how he said it, and he was like so proud, and like, he's like, you have to do it Hialeah. He's like, no one will know but people from, and I'm like, okay. And then it just sounded so good. So I was like, all right, we'll keep it. So I tell people I named it after my husband.
I love that. How did we meet? Like, how did we meet?
It's funny, I feel like I've known you for a long time, so just to say like a couple of years ago, but yeah, just I think a couple of years ago, you came to Florida, and I saw that you were coming to Florida, and I was like, let's hang out, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But you had been buying chains and pieces from me, kind of morphed into a friendship.
And with that friendship came a weird obsession where like we got rid of 90% of the other company's stuff. And it's not because it wasn't like a good quality or kind of this or that, but it just felt like exclusivity meant more to our clients and to us. And supporting like smaller makers is super important, and I think a lot of folks in the industry talk about it and they don't be about it.
Well, and I mean, I can understand it's hard
Yeah.
to support a small company when the access from the larger companies or like the better known companies or whatever, it's easier, you know? So I can understand, you know, why people are sort of like, well, I wish I could or whatever. But I mean, for studios like you, it changes things for us, people that make the effort, you know, even with like high wait times or like limited availability of like stone choices or like, you know what I mean? Just not having like the large operation to be able to fulfill. I saw someone peek in the background to fulfill like the needs of the masses, you know? But so like when a studio like yours comes in and they actually like buy, you know, in a way that they're filling their cases and keeping orders consistent, you know, it's like a hard start, but once you get going, like I feel like stock builds up and like the relationship builds, and then I can kind of see like what your studio needs. I mean, obviously your studio has been a blessing to me with our friendship and the amount of jewelry that you carry, and just like having a little piece of me in the great north, in the freezing cold.
So you have just recently started talking about exclusivity. What does that mean?
Exclusivity is kind of like, I'm getting together a group of studios that have been ordering from me or that I have relationships with personally or not personally, and just really kind of want them on my team kind of a thing, you know. I'm putting those people together because I frequently have to close my books. You know, we're a small team. There's only 3 of us. I actually have I always joke and say that you're the 4th employee at Hialeah. But yeah, so there's 3 of us, and there's no way. I mean, we have 700 accounts, and you know, it's so hard to keep up with all of them. So we have to close our books a lot, and I feel like there should be like access even when I'm like playing catch up or like redesigning things for the studios that have always been sort of like loyal to me, you know. And so that's really what exclusivity is. It's just a group of studios that like we work closely with, that we don't necessarily close books for. And so like when times come up that we do have to close books for like an extended period of time, like last time we closed for 2 months, you know, and those studios that really rely on keeping us in stock and that consistently order, we don't want them to hurt during that time. So really exclusivity is just access, you know, and it's just, yeah, it's just better access, you know. And I love the idea now, but when we were speaking about it, I was like, I don't like this. This sounds like one of those elitist things. I'm like, I don't know about this, but really it just makes sense to cater. And you know, with exclusivity, like there could be some studios that like can't get with me because books are closed. You could reach out to the exclusive studios and be like, hey, do you have this? Yeah. Like I feel like that's a lot easier than, you know, like waiting for books to reopen, or, you know, and it's just easier being a smaller company to have like that core sort of group.
I feel like a lot of people in the industry don't realize how small that you guys actually are over there. Like small.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, people will like contact us and they're like, hey team, and of course we're a team of people, you know, but it's like, I'm Lanie answering your emails, I'm Lanie making your jewelry. You know, like my husband Alex, he helps a lot with like customer account stuff, and then Shayna's just like an extra set of hands for me, a very important set of hands for me, you know. But like, so really that's kind of like how it works. And yeah, people don't know that we're as small as we are, but yeah, that's it. Little baby group of people just trying to make cool shit.
I know that last year was your first year at conference with your company.
It was my first year at conference with my company. Second year at conference ever, by the way.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so the year before I went to like do a recon mission, like see what it was like.
Yeah.
And then the year after, which was last year, we just came. But yeah, I mean, I've been a broke piercer my whole life. Like getting to conference was just not in the cards for me.
Yeah.
It just never was. And even as a small company, Like, we barely made it. You know what I mean? Like,
But you made it, and you won best booth.
Listen, I could die today and have that forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the people running to my booth, like, I was like, what's happening? Somebody, like, I thought we were like, you know, but they were like running to my booth, which...
The biggest line of the year.
I could die.
Yeah. No, it was great.
It was great.
You guys
and
all
you know what?
deserve
It's almost
it.
like, well, I appreciate, I mean, I love jewelry. I love this industry. I mean, it's made my whole life. Like, body piercing, the body industry, like, or the body jewelry industry. I mean, it's like it's been my whole life, you know? So it's just, it was amazing being there. I'm sad that we're not going.
It's okay. We got another couple years.
Yeah, I don't want to, like, listen, I don't want to have to compete with myself from last year.
Exactly.
Let that down a little bit.
Yeah, no, it was good.
It was really amazing. It was something, for sure. Something very much to be proud of. I'm stoked that happened. Hopefully one day we could do it again.
Yeah. What food do you hate? Like, what food you despise?
Food do I hate?
Yeah. Like, what food is just the worst?
I love everything. I can't even, like, nothing even popped to my, I don't know, like...
Crazy.
I don't know. I can't even think of any. I love I'm Cajun from Florida. What do you mean? Like, I grew up eating things that, like, what are you talking about? Like,
I think that's perfect.
Yeah, honestly.
I don't like canned soup.
There you go. That's a good one.
I don't like canned soup. Who is your favorite sitcom mother?
What the fuck are these questions? Favorite sitcom mother? Probably Roseanne.
Me too.
Right? Like, or Peggy Bundy, maybe?
With her cigarette in the salad.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
The outfits and just, like, yeah, all of it.
Who do you hate as a person? Just roast them. Just somebody famous, somebody non-famous.
Oh my God!
Who's your worst enemy of all time?
I don't like these questions. Who do I hate as a person?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Mine's Dave Matthew of the Dave Matthews Band. He's a piece of
Oh
trash.
yeah, you told me that. But
Yeah.
did I tell you someone that I hated back?
No, but I need to know now.
Oh my God, how much time do we have? All right, I got to think.
It's all right. I can hate Dave Matthews enough for all of us.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know the guy, but if you hate him, I fucking hate him too. Fuck him.
I hate him.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dave Matthews. That's who I hate. Fuck him.
Fuck him. That's perfect. We're just gonna end on that. Fuck Dave Matthews.
That would be a really good idea.
So I woke up this morning to an email, and I saw that you have a sale going on. Can you tell me a little bit about that and how long it's going on and what that means?
Yeah, so it's a sale. It's called Plain Chain. And really what it was is after the big yard sale that we had, I kind of looked at what the orders looked like. I looked at what everyone sort of was ordering and not ordering. And I noticed that halfway through the year or so, there was like a lack of just plain chain sales. So maybe, and this is just my thinking, I was like, maybe because I've been going so hard with like charms and stylized chains and stuff, people have been like buying them. Like, yeah, we love this. And then sort of maybe the stuff that they kind of like the other stuff that they need is not getting bought. So I was like, okay, well maybe we need to like help studios bulk up their just regular backstock. You know what I mean? So that was like where I went with it. I just noticed that there wasn't a lot of plain chain sales. So I was like, all right, well, let's get these chains because y'all need them. Plain chains, and I always tell people, even when they get drip orders, like plain chains really can do a lot to just a setup if you just have one nice little chain.
Yes.
So yes.
Yeah, so that's really why I did it. Yeah, and so this sale is lasting until April 1st. And April 1st is when we're sort of planning to close books this time to catch up. Yeah, heads up. And we might do an extended books close just for a little bit like we did last time where it was like a couple months. So I'm trying to like help everybody get their stock in, you know, before we close books. But yeah, plain chain. It gives you 10% off if you're, you know, just like a regular Hialeah account, and then exclusive accounts get 15% off their plain chains.
Well, expect an order from me in about 45 minutes. Any last words besides fuck Dave Matthews? Or just fuck Dave Matthews?
Well, no, I don't know. I love Alchemist. I love having a little piece of Florida up there. I'm so proud that I'm in a studio that's like your studio. I never had the privilege to work in such a beautiful studio in such a great environment, and so it makes me feel like I'm like kind of there a little bit, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't do it as a piercer, so I'm doing it as a jeweler, and it's just awesome. And I'm proud to be there with you.
It makes me feel good too. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think we did it.
Close off.
Thank you
Did we
so
do it?
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
And
Not a touch screen.
oh, it's not a touch screen. I fucking do that every time. It's not a touch screen.
I don't like canned soup.